Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. And I have a few things to talk about today for sure. But first, I want to thank all my subscribers and all my viewers, especially my hardcore loyal viewers and everybody. I love you all. Thank you so much for staying tuned and supporting my channel. I greatly appreciate you. I'm going to make better content in the future and as much as possible. I'm talking about whatever I can just to try to share my weird wonderful world with you. But yeah, first of all, before I am going to save the story of this shirt for the last at the end here. I do have a good well, yeah, you'll see what this is all representing soon. That's interesting, but I'm going to be talking about different things here and there. I do want to give a couple of shout outs first before I begin anything. Not the typical shout out with new subscribers, but a couple of channels I think you should check out for sure. So the first one here, you definitely need to check out is my best friend Maurice Gotro and his channel, Worldwide Skateboard Punk Rock and Roll Channel. Awesome channel. I'm not particularly interested in that type of thing exactly. I mean, he's my best friend, and he knows my reasons why but I do promote his channel to those who this channel will fit. The, I mean, look, the name of his channel is perfectly tells you everything to I'm not sure why the worldwide where the worldwide came from, you know, but he's a skateboarder. He skateboards. He's still at like age of 50. Yeah, I think he's 49, 50 right now, somewhere around that line. And yeah, he still skateboards. He's still very active. Punk. He loves that's his favorite genre of music. but but he covers all kinds of music, hence the rock and roll. That's his way of saying I like all kinds of music. You can find hip hop on his channel or whatnot, and he puts, of course, channel because just to let you know, it's a channel. It's my channel, but I think it's I think it's perfect and it's appropriate. You should keep it like that. And I like that he puts two dots at the end. He act like I didn't add that just on whim. That's actually what his channel goes by. And so check him out. If you like that kind of stuff, he has some clips of himself, of him skateboarding, and a little clips of other people skateboarding. But mostly he rips songs from like from a CD, like onto his computer, and then you know he'll share it on YouTube. And just check him out if you like that type of content. But all right. Oh, I also have somebody else I wanted to shout out. Yeah, on the other side of this, I put Rye Eyes. Now, Rye Eyes is such a cool little channel. I started watching him right from the beginning. He just started just a little over a month ago. He already has like 107 from the last time I seen 117 subscribers in just a little over a month. It's like he's growing so much faster than my channel did. I can see him getting at least up to getting to 500 in no time. In no time, I give him another 2 months, another 3 months at most, and he'll be at 500. I think he's going to be growing that fast because the faster he grows, yeah, I think it's going to be just wildfire. And like everybody, we may lose a subscriber here and there, but So Rye yeah, he's a like he has his channel is about like music, mostly music, of course, where he talks about either it could be from LPs, CDs, cassettes. He does all the physical media. He's a big fan of physical media, as I am. He has a pretty nice collection behind him in his videos, and I think why he's going to be much, much more successful than my channel would ever be is because he appeals to a younger demographic than I would. He has a certain appeal, the way he looks, he's a younger guy getting into music, and the younger generation, they don't want to hear from an old fart like me. They want to hear from a cool, hip, young guy like Rybeyes. So check out his channel. He has a really interesting taste in music, some stuff that I'm into that I love, but a lot that I have never heard of before. And there's so much out there to sample, and there's so many channels that I watch that, check out this album, check out that album, check out that album. It's in my mind. If I see something here and there, like with Glenn Calloway from the Basement talking about widespread panic, and even today, I was looking at the Tedeschi trucks section. I was looking at Tedeschi trucks, and I was looking at that four-parter there with the Eclipse, and yeah, that stuff. I remember listening to some of that and really liking it, so that was appealing to me today. But no, I went with of course, the Black Sabbath, of course. But yeah, Rybeyes is a really great channel. You should check them out if you haven't already. Also, um, before I move on to the next thing, I want to talk about, yeah, I want to give another couple of shout outs. And I don't know why I need to shout them out. They need to shout me out because they're he's such a bigger channel. But as you know, okay, and no, I'm gonna save it for no, I want to save this story for the after because it kind of goes with the story of this T-shirt. I'll get to this first. Lately, it's been kind of a cool little small world of making connections and networking, but it's but this is mostly for the love of music. All what I'm about to show you right now, okay, really is to demonstrate is that it really is for the love of music and making awesome friends. And of course, one of my favorite awesome friends on YouTube, of course, is Larry Graves. I rave about him all the time, and who doesn't like Larry Graves? You all know Larry. And and but on top of that, there's other people that I have like that I know in real life and also online that the okay, the first thing I want to talk about is that with and I should bring this up first, okay? There's this Francine McClure, the Ballad of Jean Mao. She's a local artist, okay? She lives in my building with me here. I know them personally. I'm a good friend of Robert Cormier. I even made them sign it, get their autographs. So, and that's Francine there. She's in her 70s, and still kicking. She sounds young. On this album here, she sounds very young. You can find this on Spotify. You can find this on Bandcamp and other places. So, look for it. Francie McClure. It's only like a 20-minute long. It's only 20 minutes long. It's 6 songs. And I like it. There's 4 songs that are in French, 2 songs that are with English lyrics that are in English, but whether you understand the language or not, it's I don't know, it's a certain type of it's really like you know the maritime, like it really is Acadian music, Moncton music. It's of New Brunswick, it's of the Maritimes for sure. It's really traditional. It's traditional Acadian music, but with a new flavor. You know, I I really like it. But why I like to bring this up and not just to promote it because it is worth checking out, okay, is that through them, because of knowing them, going to live shows that they brought me to, I I was introduced to an awesome band, called The Great Balancing Act. And yes, I'm going to talk about them as often as I can, because you know, even though they're a local band, I think that they deserve to be, looked at. There's this I consider it EP. It's not long at all. It's like, again, only like about 20 something minutes long. But this here is about a full. It's a full album. It's 40. It's like what, 48 minutes long or something like that. But it is. I really do enjoy this, and I want to. I definitely want to play this more often, because I do like it. And and so today on Facebook, the Jeep Jones, the guy with the glasses and the hat right here with the bow tie, he was saying that his song, the video for Dead Man Turn Me On, had hit 7,000 views. 7,000 views. So that's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's great. But they should have more exposure. They should get more exposure, because they're just a great, a great easygoing band that's just getting swept under, just swept under the rug. And it's a shame, because I really like them and I'm going to promote them. That's their earlier album. I think this is what's that? 98? 1998? Says it right here. Yeah, I believe it is 1998. But where do I see that information? Yeah, right there, 1998. Yeah, of course. And this is last year, 2024. So again, you can find that on Spotify, and I'd say order it, because I got a free copy because I've been promoting them, and helped them out, and and got them in contact with Larry Graves himself, okay? Because they were a fan of Larry Graves even before I was a fan of Larry Graves. So they knew Larry Graves before I did, okay? And when I told them that, I know Larry Graves, I was on his channel, he was on my channel, and I could give you some contact information, so you can get in contact with Larry Graves. And so they did, and things that had been exchanged. They ended up sending him a package and some CDs, so they were able to send a CD for Larry, and there should be one for Glenn too, but I think Larry misplaced it. of this CD, and then they ended up doing two songs so far, two songs from Larry Graves, of Larry Graves writing the lyrics and them singing the songs, and they're probably going to do a couple more, and then maybe even like come out with like a little EP for of their covers of Larry Graves songs. I would buy that, because I do like those songs. You know, they actually did a wonderful job in using those silly lyrics, but they're not that bad. They're actually pretty decent lyrics, especially in their capable hands. Yeah, they did a wonderful job. And of course, going through going through listening to the Great Balancing Act, and going, like, seeing their shows in that, I got introduced to another yeah, I'm on a little bit of a local band kick right now. I'm showing you all the local bands from Moncton that, again, this is dedicated to the love of music. There's another band called the I don't want to ever really mispronounce that improperly, but it's Do Gas No Bitch. Do Gas No Bitch. Okay? Et les Fouderies. That is loosely translated as and his jesters. And the jesters. They're jesters. So he's the king, he's the king, called Do Gas No Bitch, and the name of the album is called L'état de l'État, means state to state, and it's interesting. It's there's a lot. It's it's half and half English and French. a good 50-50. A lot of the lines, and within the song, he'll say a few lines in French and then a few lines in English and then a few more lines in French. So it's a pretty good blend of both languages. So I think anybody, and it's mostly for me, it's the band that I like. It works well with his type of kind of narrating. He doesn't necessarily sing, but kind of sing like, but he does a little bit of singing, but it's mostly kind of his poetry done to really rockin' music. I say the music is rockin', and if you didn't know already, Jeep Jones, which is this the guy in the yellow, okay, next to Nina, the guy with the red hair, which he's an awesome dude. I really like him. He's the guy with the on the right here, well the left here for you guys, with the black and red there. That's Jeep Jones, and that's Mario Landry, who is the proprietor of Pot de Mush. The yeah, so yeah, these are awesome. These are awesome. So a few weeks ago, I went to go see them play at a place called Zeros, and it was an awesome show. It was an awesome show. Even the headliners were awesome. Which one of the headliners, of course, was Francine McClure, and of course with the trio. All right, so also, one last thing about Moncton bands. I can't, if I'm talking about local bands from Moncton that I have in my CD collection, there's also the Monoxides, who are from Moncton, and they have an album called Galaxy of Stooges. They also have Tales from the Marsh, or something like that. I need to get more Monoxides. Yeah, this is the only one I have because it has the song "Can't Get Excited" on it, but the whole album is awesome and rocking, you know. And it's a Derek Roby show here. He's the guitar player, and I grew up with him. He grew up, as well. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm still, in somewhat contact with him. If I wanted to message him, I could right now. But he's a busy boy and I'm a busy man, so if anything ever comes up, he could always message me. He has me on Facebook. But yeah, he was a childhood friend, and they're a pretty decent band. And they got a little bit of fan following in that. They're maybe a little bit more of a following than but I don't know. Moncton bands don't really get noticed that much. There's very You don't hear globally of a Moncton band being a top band, and some of these could because they do have the talent. All right, I'm off of that now, and now before it gets too long of a video, I want to get to this, yeah, and don't want to bury that. There we go. I need that for the after. Okay. This is G&T Entertainment, and the G&T actually stands for Gin and Tonic. Okay, and this is Cass. Okay, and I think his name is Cameron or something like that, but everybody calls him Cass. And yeah, he's a rapper, so he does some rap, and he has a couple of videos. So way back in 2020, when we had the pandemic and that, and we were getting this extra money and that, we were sitting home. We couldn't go to work. I had to. That's when I had to buy a computer. Okay, I had to buy a computer. I had to get online because I had to find, because everything was becoming online, and so yeah, then I got a computer. And this is way long before I ever got my channel started. But but when I was getting on the internet for the first time and looking and knowing and the power of having money and being able to interact. And for me, because I wasn't a computer person, before that really too much, I picked up on it quick enough, I guess. But like I was just to me it was just a wondrous that you could it was like interactive TV. I was interacting with people over long distances across the country, like I still do with other people, like Larry Graves, and sometimes with Glenn Calloway or Scott Lade, because when I was on his channel. I'm going to be talking about that in a second there. But yeah, it was it was so I found this guy, okay, doing these song reactions, and he was going live almost like two times every weekend, okay, and for a little bit of if being a Patreon, you would get a shout out here and like a shout out, and then he would play a couple of your requests. He would play a couple of your requests and give a and live. It was like like a live stream, but he would be reacting to requests from people who in the chat who like. But if you were a Patreon, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by how much the Patreon was per month for that. But I was kind of getting into it for at least 3 months for the yeah, so for 3 months I was a Patreon with GNT Entertainment. I'm still subscribed to his channel. I still don't have the heart to unsubscribe to him, even though I haven't watched anything because uh, there there were some complications with one of the payments, because how I was paying for the how I was paying for the Patreon with Cass was because I would go and get and buy like the cards, like pre order cards and that, and then just use that card, and not instead of because I did at the time I did not trust using my actual bank card, so I had to. It was the best way to hide your identity is by using so that it has just the amount you need on it to buy get the membership to Patreon. I even went and got the shirt at one point because I was into his shtick and that, and he would be animated and like woohoo, and sheesh if something kind of he had the sheesh, and then there's the stank face where if he's really into it, he does the what we call the stank face, and we were the neck breakers. I was a neck breaker because it was heavy metal. And but what, it's funny with rappers. When rappers are starting to get really into metal, they don't bang their head like we used to when at the time. They kind of bob it back and forth in a weird way. It's like it's a head banging. It's straight up and down. What's with the weaving back and forth? Is like, but it's something rappers kind of do when they listen to metal. I don't necessarily get it, but it is funny to me. So yeah, but it was okay. There was something wrong with the payment the third time around, so I didn't pay. Well, I, one of the cards failed or something. It didn't read, and I didn't. I used one of the cards, and they said that it didn't work, and it should have worked. I don't know why it didn't work, and it was a new card, and they was saying that they didn't get their money. So I'm like, it's like how, but the card was empty. I couldn't use it because the card, So it was like if it's not on my card anymore, and if you guys don't have it, where did it go? Where did that third payment go? And plus there was what kind of turned me off on watching Cass was this guy here. was because there was a one of his moderators that, and every once in a while she would change the name. She was sort of, that B word I shouldn't say, but and well, okay, I'll say a B word. She was bossy, a little bit of, kind of check, pulling the strings behind the scenes, but she was the main moderator, basically the one. Yeah. So, and I don't know, there was something about the attitude that I wasn't really liking at all, and yeah, it was, I don't know, I got turned off, and I still have the shirt. I think I only wore it once. And I keep it in my, it's just a reminder of a misguided attempt to kind of join in on this internet thing that was all kind of fresh and new to me. So I was being suckered in, and yeah, I'm embarrassed by how much I actually paid for that membership. I know this is going to be one of those longer videos, but I think you guys deserve it. But yeah. But after that, and this is where this is going to come in play. I don't know why I brought it up before, but I'll be bringing it up soon. Is that I should have been going with the trash talkers, because I at the time that I was watching Gin and Tonic Entertainment, okay, G&T Entertainment, I was watching the trash talkers, and their their channel was much more affordable, but you get a request only every once in a while. It's fine. It's only $5 a month, and I get a request. I'll get a request every 6 months, which is perfect for me. I don't mind that. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'm still always happy to support them, and I'm always going to be a Patreon with the trash talkers. But yeah, I should have went with the trash talkers right from the beginning when I first started. I think, like, instead of going 3 months and following the sheesh, the gin and tonic entertainment. I really should have went with the trash talkers with Behringer Bynes and Larry Cowan, who goes by Hollywood Six and Smokey Ramirez. So they were they were the first channel. Yeah, they were the second channel I Patreon, but they were the first before. Like, yeah, I was Patreon. Yeah, I was Patreon with the Trash Talkers. Okay, no longer with, of course, Gin and Tonic. And when I discovered Sparks and discovered Larry Graves, I had no like if there's anybody on YouTube that is so endearing and just, like, can sort of relate to it on a human level, that's Larry Graves, and I had to be a Patreon to Larry. Of course, no, like, it was just a no brainer. Like, he's worth being a Patreon. And especially with the radio show now, I do enjoy it, and I do listen to the whole thing. I don't think I left a comment on the last one, but I should be, and I probably I probably will go back and leave a comment on that anyway, because it was a fun show. Hearing my selections, my requests within that bunch of music, it was just perfect. It was just perfect. It just makes it such an eclectic mix of songs. It's wondrous. I'm really enjoying that mix of just, you don't know what you're. A few of the songs, of course, I've heard before, but yeah, but but not only am I a Patreon with Larry Graves, I'm also a channel member to both of his channels. So I got his back in three ways. He has that chronic pain. He needs a little. He needs some relief, and I'm more than happy to help financially. Well, to a limit. But and I was like, no more. Like, I just the trash talkers, just just Larry Graves. That's the only ones I want to Patreon, and then of course. Scott Lade had to do some voodoo on me with those snakes. And it's like, yes, I will subscribe to your channel. But more than that, like, yes, okay, I will be a channel member too. So I'm a channel member with the Prog Corner. I'm not a Patreon. I don't think he has a Patreon, but I'm happy to be a channel member with the Prog Corner. I think he's cool. Now, okay, Scott, I may not always watch every video, and I try to be there most of the Sundays, for your live stream because I do enjoy those. You know, most Sundays I can, but not all the Sundays. And I do watch like about 80% of your videos. I mean, every once in a while you might come up with some, like, because there's a lot of bands, of course, that I might not be as interested. But there's a lot of videos you make that I'm always going to be, but I'm always going to be there. I'm not going to unsubscribe or unbe a channel member. I got your back, no matter what. And the reason why I I became a channel member is because I like your vibe. I think See, yeah, something about you. I like you doing the, yeah, you're just a cool dude, and I just like your vibe. So that's why I wanted to become a channel member for you. But I'm also like, again, realizing I do love Prague, and I want to get into Prague more. But I'm so wide open to so much different music. But I think prog is probably my favorite genre of music in many ways. I still have to look into that further because I do love a lot of music. Oh wow, 30 minutes in. Okay. That's about it. I think I babbled on enough. I hit all the topics I wanted to talk about. Oh, just wanted to let you know again, because we're getting up to the 2 years mark and everything. Thank you to everybody. Everybody who is out there that supports me. I love you guys. And so if you are watching this for the first time, please consider subscribing because I will love you forever. I greatly appreciate it. Never be afraid of that like button. Comment because I love comments and I do my best to get to your comments. And as always, just be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.